Hello and welcome back to my BMW 528E build. The new hood hinge finally came in. Got it loosely bolted on, but not new used, but it's been working pretty good. Just needs a little bit of lube on there, but it finally goes all the way out and doesn't skip over like the other one was. It would skip over. This would move over here and skip. And it goes fully all the way into the resting position and doesn't hit over here like the other one was, where it wouldn't allow it to go in the resting position. But yeah, I'm just basically at the point now where I tighten both these hood hinges on and then put the hood back on. And now I got the new hood hinges and the hood on. Everything works great, just gotta adjust it a little bit, but closes up and down fine and sits correctly on the car, most importantly now, which it wasn't doing when that hinge over there was the old one that was all bent. It wouldn't sit in the car right and it wouldn't get into position. But now everything seems to be landing pretty well on it. Last time with this hood and the other hinge, this was spaced out a lot further, and this is a little bit too close to the wiper blade right there, but as you can see now, it's all pretty straight and fitting together well, all thanks to that new hinge. Alright, so I'm back at it, working it again at the E28, and got the next Fender loosely bolted onto the side here. As you can see, it lines up pretty well with the holes lined up with and bolted in easily. And then along the side here, it matches pretty well with the car. That's still not bolted in all the way. But then the only other thing I'm kind of encountering is on the front end here. This is not matching up. I think this should be bolting into that. And then that side hole right here should be lining up to that hole. And it doesn't. It's a little bit off from the front end accident. See, there's a hole right there. Yeah. Something else I also noticed when I was looking closely at the front end of the car was, you can see right here, this white sheet metal kind of clips onto the radiator moving down. And then on the other end right here, going down, it doesn't clip onto the radiator. So I think that's something that occurred during the front end accident. Another thing I noticed was right on the front end was right above here on the sheet metal. You can see right there, it clearly is bent up. I think that's from the front end accident also. And it's very similar in fashion over here. It's bent up a little bit too, right above the other front bumper. Well, this is where the bumper mounts, the front bumper mount. But yeah, the next major problem, which is all due to the front end collision, is getting this passenger side fender on. So right now I have the passenger side fender on there, just loosely. It's not bolted on at all. But as you can see, all the holes are lined up, but I really had to play around with it to get it lined up. It wasn't very easy. And then it's really tight up here, really tight, and to the point where something's not, essentially the frame's kind of out of alignment from that front end accident, where it's kind of, the frame's going up, because if you look down here, there's a significant gap. And then up here, it's so tight, it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but you can see the fender is essentially underneath the door, where if I had opened the door right now, this would come in and pinch on the fender. And then additionally, the front end fender hole right here, it's supposed to bolt into the frame. This hole isn't lining up where it's supposed to bolt into the car, which is right here. So yeah, it's about, let's see, about an inch off or so. So basically I'm at the point where I need to figure out how to get these fenders to fit properly on the car, kind of eliminate the gap over there and get both fenders to mount onto the front end points. And then maybe look into figuring out how to fix some of the body of the car. And so like the radiator would mount up properly also. And also on the side here where the frame seems to be bending upward. on the side here, you can kind of see where there's a gap below, and then it's really tight at the top where it kind of seems like the frame is bent upward. And if you could bend it back down, that would correct how the fender is sitting on the car. And then I also need to figure out this. How did a bird poop on the car when the car was in the garage the entire time? The mystery continues.